Here we go.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're well. You amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. And to you trolls too. Mwah. Love you. Anyway, let's get straight into the meat and potatoes. As we are doing the mass reset. Because I feel that we're potentially, we get close to what's real. We get close to what potentially is the truth. But then we go on this massive tangent in the hunt for more sensationalized stories, things that are going to bring in more viewers. Are we risking our own credibility in doing so? And are we actually being mocked by the likes of some people in TikTok and all these sort of places that are feeding little seeds of things that we fall for, we hook onto, we push out, and then we look like fucking idiots? I think there is a big danger of that happening. But there are some things that I feel are very important that we do have to focus on. And the Jay Slater family, if they are indeed in the mindset that they are not willing to sort of fall for this was all Jay's fault story, then what are the things that they really need to be looking at? Now, first of all, I'm going to say pay attention to the picture that was apparently taken by Jay at the Airbnb, the one with him wrapped in a towel of some description, a blanket of some description. Now, is that blanket the one from Lucy's apartment? We don't know that. We don't know. It looks very similar. Is it the same? Who knows? We do not know. Could be, could not be. But what we do know in that picture is that there is some text over the top of it, which is saying exactly where that picture was taken. Now, some people have reached out to me and they've said, Jay was alien to this area. He didn't know where he was. So how was he able to write all this stuff down, know exactly where he was, how he was, and get it spelt right? Jay didn't write that. He didn't write it. That is a feature on Snapchat where you can take a picture and it will put on there exactly where you are, shown here in this picture. So that is the feature. And I feel that this was potentially done purposefully. This was potentially done to try to convince us that this is Jay Slater and this is where he was. Now, Ayub Kasim himself had basically referenced this very photograph. And he referenced it in a way that was as if to say, the story's true, there is evidence, and this is part of the evidence. Look, that tells you. And it's these things. I talk about devil in the detail, and it's these specific things that are indicative of a story being pushed by people, and they are pointing you in the direction of certain things to offer more credibility to the story. We spoke yesterday briefly about how apparently when they were speaking to Jay, they spoke about the fact that Jay was in a bad way. He was in a bad way. Now, that was contradicted between Lucy and Brad, one seemingly suggesting that he was absolutely fine, and the other one suggesting that he was at death's door, which I feel that again, devil's in the detail, there is a contradiction there. But ultimately, it is being pushed by Lucy that he is in a bad way. He's in a bad way. She is concerned about him. He is even cut by a cactus. He is cut. He is injured, and she is worried about him. But he's not lost. He is not lost. But they go to the police. And they go to the police with this story. Now, this story, in their eyes, will offer credibility. Look, I'm concerned. I have spoken to him. He's in a bad way. He's got no water. He's got no phone. So that is basically saying he's fucked. Jay Slater is fucked. And you need to get on it immediately. And it's almost like they're pushing, we're doing everything we can. We're coming to you, but it's passing the baby. This is now your responsibility, and I can now wipe my hands of it. I can now go and set up a GoFundMe because this is now all credible, because I've gone to the police and effectively said that he is missing. When in reality, if this story was true, Jay Slater at that point is not missing. Now, if we back up to this picture that was taken as well, it's important to understand that Jay Slater is not confirmed to be in that picture. We are being told that's Jay, alongside being told that he must be here, and it even stamped on there to say where he is. And we look at the shoes. Now, Luggy yesterday was taking a piss about the shoe situation. Like, you're a shoe specialist, Wax. You're a shoe specialist and putting all these pictures up. But Jay Slater was apparently wearing white trainers, not black trainers. Now, no, it's not out of the realms of possibility that he has the same shoes. Absolutely not. But the family should, and I would hope that they have been given back his belongings. There should be some way for those close to Jay to find out what Jay was wearing when he was found. Now, if he was wearing, for instance, no socks, because he could have been wearing dark socks, no socks and a white pair of trainers, then we know that's not him in that photograph. And that's important. But it's not up for us to look. We can give people information, but the people who really hold the power, they're the ones who need to do their due diligence and back this up and find out if indeed there is issues with the information that we are being given. Because so far we're supposed to believe, and we are being told by people who, sadly, whether they fucking like it or not, are not the most trustworthy people in the world. They're simply not. And we're supposed to be believing that Jay Slater turned down a lift, wouldn't wait for a bus, and decided on an 11-hour walk. And the only proof that we have that he was even at the Airbnb is a picture that we cannot at this stage confirm that it was him, but is being pushed by these untrustworthy people that is actual evidence of something when it isn't. It's just evidence that there was a picture to seemingly try to portray that Jay was somewhere, when in fact it doesn't prove anything. But with a little bit of investigative work by those who can truly do that investigation, such as Warren Slater, for instance, he should be able to find out what footwear Jay Slater was wearing when he was found. And if the footwear he was wearing were indeed white trainers, then it would suggest that wasn't him in that picture. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Before I go, just to say this to people, right? And I mean this absolutely. We speak about the Jay Slater case because we want the truth to be told. We want people to understand that there are people who will not just believe what they are being told because certain people tells us to believe it. Now, we're not saying we're right all the time. We're not saying that we know everything. But what we want to represent is an unwavering desire to look at every single thing that is out there. If someone goes missing, if someone is hurt, then they are not alone. They are absolutely not alone. There are people who will listen, and there are people who will fucking fight as long as they can and as hard as they can to get to the absolute truth. So if there are people out there who want to do evil things, then we want to be part of the deterrent that stops them from doing it. And if in the process we piss people off, we alienate people, then so fucking be it. Because without people who are willing to look, without people out there who are willing to turn over every stone, who wins? The bad people. Catch you all tomorrow.